What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Exanon here with you with another video. Guys, just to note, we have just passed 100 subscribers recently. And thank you guys for supporting the channel and the content. Thank you guys for subscribing. To the new subscribers, welcome to the channel. What we talk on here is blockchain, cybersecurity stuff. So everything here is educational purposes. And today we're going to be looking into Jed McCaleb, right, and what he's currently doing and the stuff involved, as I said, quote unquote, there is some top secret stuff to it that we don't have all the information to, because it looks like there's an NASA project as well, right? And stuff they're involved with. Uh, that information is classified information, but there is some stuff just to connect the dots here and there, right? So we'll get into it. So this is him on LinkedIn, and you can see the company is called Fast. Currently about him, you can see he's currently the director. So he's still the director of Stellar, which has the token XLM, the cryptocurrency for the newcomers. Right, so you have him still working on this. So yeah, so we have him working on Fast and also Stellar, and it's quite a bit amazing that you can see is present, and also machine intelligence. So he's still present at so many different companies. It's crazy at one given time, and his background. Right, so we're gonna look into a vast. That's where his country is. Everyone's wondering where's Jed McCaleb in the space because he hasn't talked yet. So, uh, right, so we're going to talk about VAST uh, project. VAST, a world-class team, right, as it says, right, and let's just go to the home page real quick so we can see. VAST, space is vast, or vast as you guys call it. So, very interesting to use the word and the way it's phrased. VAST is developing artificial gravity space stations to expand humanity across the solar system. Now, in the terms when they say space, uh, and seeing where this stuff is, they're talking about the lower orbit region is where they want to have blockchain, and we'll go more into that, right? So this is their mission: enable large populations to live and work in space permanently. Uh, I'm not sure if that's a thing, right? If that is even possible. Let's see what it is. I don't think that is possible. Our solar system has the resources and room for humanity to thrive and expand without destroying Earth's biosphere. Okay, so we see that without gravity, our bodies would. We don't need to. When we talk about moon and the technology, I do believe if he is still the director of Stellar, this will be on the Stellar network, as it talks about the artificial gravity. And about I think about a couple of weeks ago there was a team page here, and I see that it's not here now. It was like cartoonish images of them, like animated images of them, of the team. I see that has been taken down. You have the advisors right for that. Now, project thing is we still went ahead and managed to find some thing along those lines, right, in the team. So we'll look into it. There's you see Jeb McCaleb, and there's another person here, and I looked at some of these people. Crystal Capian, Capanio. Crystal Capanio, right? Capanio. Now, She is CLO at first. What's interesting is she's formerly with SpaceX and Leo Labs. Leo Labs. She's currently with Leo Labs, and we will look into those projects and SpaceX right in what her time was. First becomes a newest member of Space Beach, and we'll get into that. That's where space and beach just think of deeper waters, not just the beach when they say space beach, because we'll get into that, right? So, Chief Legal Officer and General Counsel, we see Legal Counsel, ITA Empowered Official Contracts Officer, Leo Labs, right? So, now these are projects that are working, and this dude is also worked for SpaceX as an engineer, and now is at Vast, right? So, it's interesting that these SpaceX guys are now working with uh, SpaceX and other companies that revolve around that are working with Vast, right? And Jed McCaleb is still in play with Stellar, and that's the only crypto apart from being formerly with Ripple and the XRP ledger and that network. You see is with Stellar and XLM, right? So, and if you look at the spelling of how Vast is spelled, it has similar spelling to NASA, so, which I found interesting as well for the space project. And coming back to Crystal C with Leo Labs and the world's first vertically integrated commercial space operations, stack tracking Leo at scale. Uh, and I'll leave this in the links. I don't want to pour you guys out with some of the information here, but it is very deep information. Right, so they talk about a cloud data platform and stuff like that. So what I was looking for was I came across something uh, that made sense, right? And now seeing these guys work blockchain as a system and low Earth orbit. So you see these networks have been put in place. Low Earth orbit. Blockchain is a system and integrated supply chain management using low Earth orbit LEO satellites. Blockchain as a system currently is called backend as a system in supply chain management utilizing cloud technology, as I've just shown you in Leo Labs right here. They have the cloud data platform, which will be low Earth orbit, right? So back into here in this article, we see the amount of innovation in the new technology has startup companies going crazy, lining up investors and launching satellites. However, the blockchain with cryptocurrency, some investors losing millions of dollars. Many are apprehensive of investing. Why not use blockchain without cryptocurrency for now? And that's the point you see. And I spoke about this in the last video as well. People get too caught up in the tokens, and I understand everyone wants, well, they want that freedom, but there's a point. There's some people that gets consumed by greed and time and just don't have that patience, right? Because the token, like I said with XLM, it's gonna do what it has to do at the right time. And I know when they're seeing things now with USDC and MoneyGram, right? Let's talk about that for a second, and we'll get back. So MoneyGram is using the Stellar network. They're transferring money back and forth to fiat systems, but that is done on the Stellar network, and that is not to take away the credibility of XLM, because you don't really need to use like XLM for everything. That's not the aim of blockchain in itself. The like we understand with XRP, that's an on-demand liquidity token. When liquidity is needed, they're going to use that token the same way. You don't just come dishing out these tokens like a buffet. They were going to have high value in them. You just don't go dishing out the token like a buffet, because it's more about bringing value to the network adoptions of these networks, right? So now we're seeing that, as they said, not to use blockchain without the cryptocurrency. And what they're talking about when they say blockchain is the network. So using the Stellar network as uh, MoneyGram's using the Stellar network, right? Next generation SCM blockchain. Satellites are where innovation is heading. A Green, Lean, Six Sigma, practice a dead end. So I'll leave this in the description as well, right? And they talk about this stuff. And digital ledger system. We know what the ledgers are, what ledgers are going to be used. As you can see, they talk about these SECs here. Currently, still going on after 3 years. We still have that to be doing that, taking long regulations, span of time for this technology to be fully adopted, right? As there's, uh, how do you say this? There's no, it's not like Team A versus Team B. It's them working together and making it look like, they're versus each other because they need to buy time for other entities to adopt this technology, right? Uh, with regards to regulation and everything that comes down there. So, common access card authentication, quantum, auto China, so 5G, Amazon Web Services, they're working with XRP and Ripple. Uh, I don't know what the space chain, if that's gonna even work, but it's interesting, right? And then there's a pattern that I've also come across, which was interesting. In this pattern, let me go through this. What is it for? Data transmission systems and methods using satellite to satellite radio links, which is low orbit Earth, as it does talk about. Yeah, as a result, satellite could be very small, light, and at low cost, with the goal of allowing a constellation of possibly hundreds of satellites to be launched and inserted into orbit at a fraction of the cost required to establish the kind of satellite infrastructure used in common private satellite communications. And that's where I said, like, the SpaceX guys, they have the other company Starlink that has satellites for networks, which I technically think will be used along with the Stellar network, right? So, and like I'm saying, no financial advice or anything like this, just complete speculation, right? And just paying attention to some of the data that I have presented in front of me. So, a system as in claim, wherein the satellites in the constellation comprise a blockchain in which each satellite stores orbital information of substantially all of the other satellites in the constellations, and the orbital information stored in each satellite is updated periodically with the orbital information stored in the other satellites. So this is more like these satellites also becoming nodes. Right, so we see that, and I'll drop this in the description. I've went through this as well. This is just the other thing, right? And we go into Starlink, and I just want to get into an article of Starlink. This was in December. Starlink explained what you need to know about Elon Musk's satellite internet service. Sorry about that. So we see, when you think of billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk, chances are that you would think of his electric car company Tesla, space exploration venture SpaceX, or even eventful purchase of Twitter. Maybe you know him. You may be less familiar with Starlink, a venture from Musk that aims to interconnection, sell internet connections to almost anyone on the planet through a growing network of private satellites orbiting overhead. That's why I say this is some classified information of how these networks are going to be in space, leading up to blockchain or payments, net traffic globally, right? So this low orbit thing is really interesting of how in the space or low orbit these networks connect to each other, right? In the low orbit, not in space, low orbit. That would be crazy to have that happen. So we see scientifically community members are very concerned about the impact of Starlink's low Earth orbit satellites of night sky visibility. Meanwhile, satellite internet competitors such as Red Wheels through these people and would say Starlink can explain that 5G expansion. We're currently on Wi-Fi 7 at the moment. I do believe that's where we're heading, and their networks are really fast. Starlink secured nearly 885.5 million in grant funds from the Federal Communication Commission, right? This decided to invest to cancel Starlink, but they're already too big to cancel. Right? People are using this, and they are uh, very successful at this point, as you can see. Right, we'll go into the Starlink website, and let's see. This is the website now. This is part of SpaceX. Right, to use the to audio Starlink, low latency, streaming online, stuff like that. Easy self install. What I found interesting that I didn't know about Starlink was the maritime stuff. When they say aviation, you know what that is. Maritime is to do with the sea. And when I think about space and then I think about the sea, that brings me back to this kind of picture, and everyone get the image is what I'm trying to say, right? As above, so below, as within, as that, right? So as above, so below. So it's like if you're flying in a plane and someone is on a ship cruise going to another country and you're traveling, right? You couldn't do that before, but with blockchain and stuff coming through, you'll be able to send do payments from a plane to a person on the sea. And before, in the time there was no sea communication, right? So it's interesting to see something like that where you may have the low orbits as above, so below, and they connect to the ship cargo marine time stuff that's going on. So it goes beyond that, and having Stella at the front line is so interesting, right? To see them with this technology, uh, which I do believe, as I see, like I said, Jed McCaleb, uh, that's just vast. Then he has the Stereo Institute, which is also uh, science technology that does stuff with space. So you see these things, and if you look at Stella itself and you look at the website, and, let's just go to it, right? We'll go into this. When you start up this website, uh, and when it comes to the word Stella, it relates to more space kind of stuff. So, we talk about these riddles and patterns, and it's crazy how, these small little riddles and things eventually tie up together. Now you can see the vast stuff is space, and Stella, uh, the word Stella itself is, I believe, something to do with space, like interstellar, right? So the word Stella is star, so we see that, and you can see these constellations on the website. So along the lines, they kind of giving you a picture of what they're truly doing with their website. It's like, oh, you just come to this website and you see these cool space stuff and constellations, but it goes beyond just looking at this image. When you see Jed having a company called Vast, which is working with space, and the people that he had in his company, or the team people that he had, worked with SpaceX, and SpaceX has Starlink, and we just went over a patent that has that information, right? So we see all these things connecting, playing out really well. We see Samsung using this global payments app. So uh, what I would say is we haven't seen that they didn't mention that there, but just piecing this information by speculation. The Stellar blockchain network is going to be huge in time when everything is set in place or set in space. Right, so you know where I'm going with that. So you see these other companies, but like I said, back here, I do believe that they are doing something that's intrinsically global changing in a lot of ways in how payments and networks are going to move. Right, so they even said still as an open network for storing and moving money. So as a network and we read those orbits as to those satellites have to store information as well. So this, and I do believe that this network is great for that. And if you look at the logo, as above, so below as well. See the same thing of space, maritime, Starlink, and yeah, we just wrap up to a conclusion of that. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and this information was useful to you. And guys, I hope you have a great day or great afternoon. I'll catch you in the next one. So, bye, guys.